So Sweet 16 begins tomorrow. We will have the Final Four set by Tuesday, right? I'm doing that right. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we have 16 teams left. What do we anticipate happening? Let me give you a little roadmap of where we're going on the program this morning as well. We're going to be joined by my buddy Lance Taylor at the Lance Taylor 94.5 Jocks down in Birmingham in the next segment. Then Joe Kinsey, who came up with the Sweet 16 of woke sports media members. He is going to be with us in the second hour. And then in the third hour, Chris Mannix is scheduled to join us. The NBA trade deadline was yesterday. And so everybody is now locked and loaded on the run. You know, I was looking, and I didn't realize how late it was going to be until this thing ended. The NBA Finals aren't scheduled to end now until July 21st. So usually the NBA playoffs start soon after the NCAA tournament ends, usually by mid-April or thereabouts. We're usually talking about the NBA playoff season, which lasts forever. But now it's not going to even start until late May with the playoffs. And then we got June and July, basically your whole summer until the NBA, and I don't even know when the NHL, the Stanley Cup's going to be going on. But meantime, college basketball is going to come close to crowning a champion by Tuesday. And I want to break down all these different bracket games for you throughout the course of today's program. And I'm going to knock out a couple of the games here. I'm going to give you gambling picks on all 8 games. I will give you my blood bank guarantee to finish the show. The blood bank guarantee has been doing pretty well. 3-1. LSU screwed us. We won our first 3. I had LSU. I felt pretty good. I had LSU +5 against Michigan. LSU was up 5 with about 10 minutes to play, and then they fell apart. Credit to the Wolverines. Michigan ends up winning that game by 8 and handing us our first L on the gambling season with the blood bank. But I'm going to pick every game. There are 8 of them going on, and we start with what I think is one of the most intriguing matchups out there in general, and that is Loyola of Chicago going up against Oregon State. And I am looking right now, there are a lot of different places you can bet, and people are always like, well, my line is this. I'm using FanDuel. I am using FanDuel because it is, I think, the most popular, don't think it is true, the most popular sports gambling site in the country right now. And Loyola of Chicago is a 7-point favorite in this game. And the over-under is down to 125. So I'm actually going to give you 2 different bets here. I like Loyola of Chicago to cover the 7. All right? I think Loyola of Chicago is going to run Oregon State. I actually think Loyola is going to advance all the way to the Final Four. I love what I have seen from Sister Jean's crew so far. They were dominant in the first round against Georgia Tech. They were super dominant against Illinois. The Fighting Illini never had a chance to win that game. And so I think Loyola of Chicago is headed into the Elite 8, and I also like the under in this game. Loyola has the best defense of anyone remaining in the NCAA tournament. I love how precise Porter Moser has them playing. They didn't even take hardly a bad shot against Illinois. They have the ability to run the clock and make you chase them around. And then it's amazing how well they do getting a high-quality shot up inside of the final 10 or 12 seconds of almost every possession. I like Loyola to cover the 7. And I also like the under here. Dub, you are a gambler extraordinaire in that you like to do it a lot, not that you're necessarily great at it. Who do you like in this game?
That's a very fair assessment there of my gambling.
I think it's a fair assessment basically of everyone who gambles, period. Because if you were truly great at it, then you'd be able to retire and you'd just watch games all day and you'd get filthy rich just gambling because you don't have to win that high of a percentage to get filthy rich.
That's absolutely right. But then again, there's nothing wrong with putting a few bucks on some of these games. Loyola looked as impressive as any team I've seen in a long time. Not that I watch a ton of college basketball, but I know great basketball when I see it.
Yeah.
Oregon State's been a huge surprise, obviously, but To me, it's hard to go against Loyola. I would rather them, if I'm betting them, to be playing on a Sunday. I feel like the Sister Jean to God connection maybe works better on a Sunday. But
That's a good point.
I think they can get it done on Saturday against the 12-seeded Oregon State Beavers.
You know Sister Jean is taking this matchup serious because did you see this quote? I saw it and I was like, this is amazing. They asked Sister Jean what her thoughts were on Oregon State, and she declined to give them because she said that Oregon State might be listening to what she says.
That is savvy right there. I mean, and this shows the experience of this team.
Yeah, they've already been to the Final Four.
I mean,
they're not overwhelmed by the
Exactly.
stage.
That just shows some true experience in my book there.
Also, I feel like it isn't talked about enough. Sister Jean asked everybody to pray for Loyola. She didn't ask them to pray for like world peace or ending global hunger. She was like, hey, I want my team to win. Please help pray for us. And then they did. So
She's one of us.
She's a degenerate. Sister Jean making plays again. And so I've got Loyola and I've got the under in this one. All right, the other game that is going on, by the way, I'm doing these games in the order in which they're going to tip off. So if you're wondering, how is Clay picking the order in which they are going to tip off, this is the first game on Saturday. It is tipping off scheduled at 2:40 Eastern. The next game that is scheduled to be played, Villanova against Baylor. And the Bears have moved all the way out to a 7.5-point favorite in this game. I'm going to go with Nova. And I know they missed Gillespie. And I know that Nova has been erratic, particularly down the stretch run of the season in the Big East. But no one has coached better in the NCAA tournament in recent history than Jay Wright, which is interesting because Villanova early on had the reputation as a team that couldn't win in the NCAA tournament. And then Jay Wright, by the way, Jay Wright, best-looking coach in America. If we were doing a bracket challenge for best-looking coach in America, does Jay Wright win?
He certainly wins his age group. I think Cliff Kingsbury would maybe have a word.
No. I'm talking about March Madness.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. There are a lot of good-looking, young football coaches. But no, I'm talking about basketball coaches. Who's better looking than Jay Wright, even factoring in the age? I mean, he looks a little bit like George Clooney.
I mean, that just says it all right there, I think.
We should have asked this of Bruce Pearl. I bet Bruce Pearl would have had a good answer for us last week. Best-looking coach in America. I don't think that you can do better than Jay Wright for college basketball.
Yeah, nothing comes to my mind.
So, in addition to the fact that I think he's going to cover and that I think his team's going to shoot well from outside, we also forget that Baylor wasn't really playing their best basketball down the stretch. And I think Baylor will find a way to win. But as this line now is sitting at 7.5, that feels a bit steep to me. I like Nova. What say you, Dub?
Yeah, it's hard not to take those points with a Jay Wright coach team. The only thing that does concern me is I'm looking at Villanova's last game. They shot lights out from deep, 16 for 26. That's going to be a tough performance to match. That's my only concern. I agree with you. I think Baylor moves on. They've been too dominant this year, but I think it stays close and Villanova covers.
Well, here's the thing I think in general that you're hitting at is as college basketball, and certainly this is true in the NBA too, as the three-point shot has taken over in basketball, to me it seems like there's a lot more swings in terms of, like we had in the first round and second round of the NCAA tournament, more upsets than have ever existed, more lower seeds advanced. And my theory on why that would occur is the three-point shot is a bit like guys swinging for the fences in baseball. You're going to end up with a lot of strikeouts when you don't make contact for a game, but you also can put up 10 or 12 runs really easily. And there are a lot of teams, Villanova among them, that can get super hot shooting outside and roll up in a big way and pull off an upset. And the converse is true too. They cannot show up and crazy stuff can happen. So I'm curious to see exactly what ends up happening.